but he is checking off all the boxes that I die for, with high communication skills, high energy, that remind them of a Kyle Shanahan. Hey, dipshit, how about you go back to the Washington Redskins at the time? Kyle Shanahan, Matt LaFleur, and Sean McVay all in the same building. They chose the experienced Jay Gruden.
Bam,
Shut up. That is where the league is going. Ben Johnson, Terry. Ben Johnson, and this was quoted by Corey Woods yesterday. We had him on the show. He said, Ben Johnson, if you look at last season, Anthony Lynn was non-existent in terms of communication and presence on the practice field during training camp. Non-existent. And Ben Johnson is quite the opposite. Over-communicator. High energy. Lots of creativity. I mean, that for me is all the signals of what you need to be in today's NFL, right? How does Sean McVay handle a locker room with Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald, Andrew Whitworth last season, Matthew Stafford, Odell Beckham? How do they do that? How? One, he has the support, obviously, of his leadership group, but two, high energy, high level of communication skills. For me, Ben Johnson you're checking all the boxes with Ben Johnson right now. Now, you need to see it on the field this year with him as the OC for the first time, but he is checking off all the boxes that I die for when I look for an offensive coordinator.
Ready
I need
for
high
my
energy.
question, Brohammer?
Go ahead.
Question is this: who would you have calling the plays? Ben Johnson or Dan Campbell?
Ben Johnson, hands down. You know what I thought you were going to ask me?
What?
Going into the break? I thought you were going to ask me if it doesn't work with Dan Campbell.
Oh.
Do you look at Ben Johnson? And I think absolutely. Look, guys. I mean, I don't mean to drag and. This isn't even a knock on Dan. I'm rooting for Dan Campbell, but let's say it doesn't work out. Okay, where's the NFL going right now? You guys tell me. Division winners in the AFC North last season. Anybody? Cincinnati. Who's their head coach? Young Zach Taylor. Young Matt LaFleur in the NFC North. The AFC South? Frank Reich, I believe. No, the Colts didn't. Who won the division last year in the AFC South? Oh, God, it's slipping me now. Not the Jaguars. Not the Texans. Not the Colts. Who the hell was it? Why am I missing the third team in the division? Or the fourth team? Holy hell. Regardless, moving on. The NFC South, Brady and the Bucks. Whatever, we're going to look past it. Andy Reid, one of the greatest offensive-minded coaches in all of football. You go to the NFC West, Sean McVay and the Rams, young offensive-minded coach.
And Tom Brady's probably older than many of the coaches that won the division.
Probably. You look at the NFC East, Mike McCarthy, but Dan Campbell. Mike McCarthy. You see Dak Prescott, Kellen Moore on the sidelines as a young OC. You go to the AFC East, Josh Allen, Sean McDermott. Now, McDermott is a defensive-minded coach, but they had Brian Dabble last year. Young, offensive-minded coach who just got a job with the Giants. The young Kevin O'Connell, Nathaniel Hackett in Denver, Brian Dabble. That's where the league is going. And if for any reason it doesn't work out with Dan, you got a kid in the building. And I promise you, for any reason it all goes to hell, and you have the opportunity to get him, you do it. If you don't, I'm telling you now, he's probably going to get a job in 2 years. He's probably going to get a job because that's what every team is looking for. The young, up-and-coming, offensive-minded coach with high communication skills, high energy, that remind them of a Kyle Shanahan, of a Sean McVay, now Matt LaFleur, Zach Taylor. That's what you want molded.
Do you know what every coach says?
What's that?
That my door is open for players. And guess what? A lot of those guys who say that, their door is actually closed to players. They don't want to talk to them. And that's been one of the problems with the Lions. Every coach, my door is open, player comes in, door is closed. I do believe Dan Campbell when he says his door is open, his door is open. And Ben Johnson, his door will be open.
Same with McVay. Same with Kyle. Looted corpse. I have no idea who you are. Ben Johnson isn't a talent. Quote, he's friends with MCDC. Hey, dumb fuck. Just so you know, Ben Johnson was working there before Dan Campbell. Just so you know. Just kind of something you should probably know before you say something stupid like that. I'm just saying.
We're just saying.
Terry, I think you agree. The league is going in that offensive direction. I mean,
it's there.
look at. I mean, it'll continue. I think, especially at the coaching level, now it's more than ever, right?
Well, that's why I didn't want them to hire Patricia, because he's more a defensive-minded coach. He only been in one system. To me, that was a red flag. Forget the fact that he's an ass, but defensive-minded coach in one system. No, that's a no for me. The trend was already set then that these offensive-minded coaches are the ones that are already taking over the league.
Looted Corpse is on one today. Well, yeah, let's not place the inexperienced coaches get their start. That's not success. Hey, dipshit. How about you go back to the Washington Redskins at the time, where they had Kyle Shanahan, Matt LaFleur, and Sean McVay all in the same building. And you know what they did? They chose the experienced Jay Gruden over potentially 3 Hall of Fame head coaches. Do me a favor. Shut the f*** up. And let's continue on.
No, who else did that? The Lions had a young assistant coach that they kept passing over because he didn't quote unquote, didn't communicate well. You know who that guy was? Don Shula. He was with the Lions before the Miami Dolphins. They also had Jerry Venisi, who was passed over for a front office job because, I don't know why. But he went to Chicago and won a Super Bowl for the Bears. He was the Lions' property before he went to the Lions, to the Bears.
That's insane. And look, you didn't know Kyle Shanahan who he's going to be. You didn't know Sean McVay, right? You didn't know Matt LaFleur, right?
Right, but they're
Washington
in your building,
had all 3 of them in the building, and they didn't know.
You should know.
And you're going to tell me about Ben Johnson, who now is getting his first opportunity as an OC. And if he has a very good season, and Jared Goff looks exponentially better, and let's say Goff plays the entire season like he played down the stretch, well, Ben Johnson's probably getting a job, and you're going to lose him. Because if I'm a GM, and I just take a job somewhere, and I'm looking to rebuild the team, and I have a young quarterback, right? I'm looking at Ben Johnson as one of my primary candidates, along with the individual Byron Leftwich out in Tampa Bay. I'm looking at Kellen Moore. That's my short list. You know what they all have in common? They're young, inexperienced offensive coordinators with 0 head coaching experience. That's where the league is going, and that's where all the success in the league is coming from. Sean McVay, 0 head coaching experience. Walks in, 2 Super Bowl appearances in 5 years. Kyle Shanahan, 0 head coaching experience. Only OC experiences. Was the OC in Atlanta. Gets to San Francisco, turns it around. Matt LaFleur, 0 coaching experience outside of being an OC under Sean McVay. What happens? 13 wins, 2 NFC titles in all 3 years. Excuse me, NFC championship appearances. Excuse me. A little ahead of myself there.
Bam,
Shut up. That is where the league is going.
Yeah, and if they're in your building, you should be able to identify that talent. The Lions, look, maybe you're wrong about Ben Johnson, but the Lions should be able to look at Ben Johnson and identify him as a potential head coach prospect or not. Because he's in the building, they know what he's doing, they know exactly what he's contributing to this game plan. So they should be able to know. And plus, when you're a head coach, a lot of times you're managing people, you're managing, OCs and assistant coaches and making sure they're doing their job. And some head coaches are more hands-on and some are more hands-off. But they know how to maneuver a staff. And you can do that as a young guy without much experience.
Absolutely. You just have to earn the respect of the locker room. And the way you do that is by communication, showing you're committed, showing you can help them improve, and every player will buy in if they believe they can grow with you as their coach.
And don't lie.
And don't lie to them. Absolutely.
You lie to them, you dead.
Oh yeah, you're dead meat.